time to do them NFL. So let's go throw it. First game first. Las Vegas over Indy. I tell you, I can't really figure out the Raiders. Indy, I like Jonathan Taylor, but I just don't trust Carson Wentz. I like Frank Reich as a head coach, but the Colts just they tend to make things a lot harder. And the Raiders, I don't know if David Carr's for real or not, so keep your fingers crossed. But these two teams are interesting for different reasons. It's both puzzling. Seattle over Denver in a meaningless game, but they blew the doorknobs off them. Seattle finally figured out how to finish, but that game was much ado about nothing. Was that the last of Russell Wilson in Seattle? We shall see. Interesting. I see a lot of Marshawn Lynch in commercials. And they say he couldn't be commercialized, and his commercials are better than Russell Wilson's. What Pete Carroll do with Metcalf and that defense? Stay tuned. Elsewhere, the LA Chargers over Denver. A waste because that could have been a high contending team. I think Justin Hubert is the truth. The right coach, the right situation, that could be a real contending team. Stay tuned. Pittsburgh over Cleveland. Could be Big Ben Roethlisberger's last game as a Steelers quarterback. Great career. I might do a video about him. I'm still contemplating that. Faker Mayfield, he stunk it up, got sacked, bad picks, and of course the team ain't playing for him because it just ain't in the cards. What a waste. That should have been a better team. Cleveland underachieved big time. They may be one of my most biggest underachievers. Green Bay over Minnesota. Green Bay solidified themselves the best team in the NFC. Aaron Rodgers, they ball. Minnesota, another waste team. Kirk Cousins, for all them stats and all everything they got, Devin Cook and all that, they just don't connect. Can't say why. Rams over Baltimore, clutch win from Matthew Stafford. Odell Beckham came up big. Baltimore's got to be the team of, if they're playing cards, there's always a card at the end that always gets them. Because 3 straight hard-breaking losses. You just got to wonder, they're the what-if team. Because they got 3 or 4 games, they should be an 11-win team. Philly over Washington. Philly's going to the playoffs. Jalen Hurts look good. The seats fell out in Washington. They ain't the only thing that's falling out with Washington. Got to get a quarterback, and the defense fell off this year. Not good. Tampa Bay over the Jets. Everybody know Antonio Brown's situation took over the game, but I'm praying for AB, and I think there's more to it. Tom Brady showing his clutchness, and Tampa Bay's 12-4. The Jets. I said this before, and I'll say this again, but the Jets and the Giants, if those teams could win 5 games, they should have a 2-block parade. They each got 4. They got a week to go. I don't think you're going to see a parade no time soon. And you don't get parades for being under 500. Chicago beat the Giants. The Giants' offense is horrible. If Phil Simms could come out the retirement home or something, or Jeff Hostetler, bring him back. Even Eli, this is horrible. They have no quarterback, and their offense is putrid. New Orleans over Carolina. It was a meaningless game, but New Orleans might make the playoffs. New Orleans is a strange team because they're not top tier, but they're good enough to be a playoff team. They're good enough to be a problem. Keep your eyes on. I don't know much of a problem because they need a quarterback bad, like quite a few of these teams do. So we'll see. Tennessee over Miami. Beat the doorknobs off of them. Not surprised though. But Miami played better the last few weeks. Just not a good enough team to contend. San Francisco over Houston. 49ers may or may not make the playoffs. It was a decent win for them, though. They needed to rebound. They've been slouched. They've been kind of sloppy the last few weeks. They needed to win a game like that. Buffalo over Atlanta. Proud of the Bills. Not a surprise. The guy was kind of slow start. Josh Allen was kind of stagnant, but won the game. Big win. Beat the Jets. You win the AFC East. And you got you some momentum going to play in the playoffs. New England over Jacksonville. Not a surprise. They thumped them. Jacksonville sucks and they stank. I'm not big on Mac Jones. New England did what they supposed to do. Stockpile up against crap teams. That's what you're supposed to do. And Jacksonville's been a long year. Long year. Elsewhere, Cincinnati beat Kansas City in the game of the day. Joe Burrows, I think Burrows is the truth. I think they still about a year or two away from really being dominant. This could be a fixture between these two teams. It could be something. And Kansas City's streak ended. I just the secondary got burnt and toasted, so they got to work on that. Got some calls too, but Cincinnati stayed aggressive. That was the key. Hit and Chase looked like Chase Bank. He was breaking them off. I mean, that was an interesting game. It was an interesting game. Don't be surprised if you don't see something like them again, because it could be a possible playoff situation. And the game, the last one is Arizona over Dallas. Well, Kyler Murray ran over Dallas. Dallas is one of the most fraudulent teams because when they beat up on scrub teams and they get turnovers and shorten the field, they look good. But when they got to play a full game, full field, ain't much to them. They can't run. Dak Prescott, he piles a lot of numbers after the fact he's behind. It's so cliche. Mike McCarthy got outcoached again, and Kyler Murray, who I call like the Allen Iverson of quarterbacks because his movements and his working the field left to right, he is a problem. They If they play like this with consistency, that could be a dangerous team. But they fell off a bit, but they're still right in the middle. Not the kind of team you really want to have to mess with because they are still dangerous. So anyway, that's my football takes. How'd your team do? Please let me know. Hit the like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments. And I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. And it's been a long season. Season week 17, 18. Our teams don't need to be playing this late and this into January. Their butt should have been gone like 2 weeks ago. We'll see how it turns out this weekend, though. But anyway, have a good one. I'm out.